Hey everyone, today's it is about when you have a high fever. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. By the way, I'm gonna be switching characters in like the middle of the story. So like Bakugo's also going to have a high fever and you're going to take care of him. Because I like taking care of someone and I like someone taking care of me. I feel like that's actually their relationship. So anyways, let's get going. You woke up in a cold sweat, your head pounding. You tried to sit up, but you were too weak. You looked around and saw that you were in your bed. Bakugo was sitting next to you, his face creased with worry. Hey, how are you feeling? You tried to speak, but your throat was too dry. You just nodded. I called your recovery girl. She said you have a really high fever. She's going to come and see you later. You closed your eyes and tried to focus on breathing. Bakugo reached out and took your hand. Don't worry, I'm here. You opened your eyes and looked at him. His eyes were full of concern, but there was also a softness that you didn't often see. Thanks, you said. He just nodded and stayed by your side for the rest of the day, making sure you were comfortable and getting you whatever you needed. He brought you water, wiped your brow, and changed your damp clothes. He even read to you from your favorite book. When Recovery Girl came to see you later that evening, she gave you some medicine and told you to get plenty of rest. Bakugo stayed with you until you fell asleep. The next morning, you woke up feeling a little better. Bakugo was still there, asleep in a chair next to your bed. You reached out and touched his cheek. He stirred and opened his eyes. Hey, you said, finally being able to talk. Hey yourself. He smiled. You sat up in bed. How are you feeling? He asked. A little better, thanks to you. I'm just glad you're okay. You leaned over and kissed him. He kissed you back, softly and tenderly. I love you, you said. I love you too, Lion. You spent the rest of the day resting and cuddling. Bakugo took care of you like you were a precious little bird. He brought you soup, made you tea, and read to you. He even helped you bath and get dressed. By the end of the day, you were feeling much better. He helped you and took you for a walk outside. Thank you for everything. You're welcome, Moyan. A few days later, Bakugo came home from work, feeling tired and feverish. You could tell right away that he was sick, so you helped him into bed and took his temperature. He was 40 degrees Celsius. You need to rest. I'll go get you some medicine. You went to the kitchen and got him some ibuprofen and a glass of water. He took the medicine and then laid back down on the bed. Thanks. I feel like crap. I know, but you'll feel better soon. You stayed with him for the rest of the day, making sure he was comfortable and getting him whatever he needed. You brought him soup, made him tea, and read to him too. He was a little grumpy at first, but eventually relaxed and let you take care of him. The next morning, Bakugo woke up feeling a little better. His fever had gone down, and he was able to get out of bed, but he was still weak and tired, so you told him to stay home from work. You spent the day taking care of him. You made him breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You helped him bath and get dressed, and you just sat with him and talked, keeping him company. By the end of the day, Bakugo was feeling much better. He was still a little weak, but he was able to get back to work the next day. You were so relieved that he was feeling better. You had been worried about him, and you were glad that you could take care of him. Bakugo was grateful for your help too. He told you that you were the best person in the world, and he told him that you love him. You continued to take care of Bakugo for the next few days. until he was completely better. And during that time, he grew even closer. He knew that, no matter what happened, he would always be there for each other. A few weeks later, Baku was feeling completely better. He was back to work and training, and he was even more energetic than usual. You were glad to see him back to his old self, but you were also a little bit worried. You knew that he was pushing himself too hard, and you were afraid that he would get sick again. One day, Bakugo came home from work even more tired than usual. It was raining outside. He collapsed on the couch and said, "I really don't feel good." You could tell that he was really sick, so you helped him into bed and took his temperature. It was 40 degrees Celsius again. "You need to go to the hospital this time." "I'm fine. I just need to rest." But he knew that he was not fine. He insisted on taking him to the hospital. The doctor examined Bakugo and said he had pneumonia. He was admitted to the hospital and put on antibiotics. He stayed with him at the hospital the whole time. He slept in a chair next to his bed and kept him company. He was miserable. He was in a lot of pain, couldn't breathe very well, but he was very grateful for your support. After a few days, he finally started to feel better. He was able to breathe easier, and the pain was starting to subside. The doctor said that he could go home in a few days. You were so relieved. You couldn't wait to have him home. Baku was discharged from the hospital a few days later. You took him home and helped him get settled in. He was still weak, but he was happy to be home. He told you that he didn't know what he would have done without you. He smiled and said, "I'm just glad I could help." You knew that Bakugo would never forget your kindness. He would always be grateful for the way you took care of him when he was sick. You also were very grateful for her when you were very sick and he took care of you, and every little thing he did for you in his life. You knew that your love for each other had only grown stronger through this experience. You were more committed to each other than ever before. You knew that you would always be there for each other, no matter what. You were a team, and you would face the future together forever. Bakugo really, I feel like Ryan forgot all the things he did for her. Well, anyways, I did not write that in the story. The fact that she was very grateful, but then now as I was reading it, I felt like why is she not grateful? You know, he was grateful for her, but why isn't she? Why can't I pronounce that? Why isn't she grateful for him too? You know. Thank you guys for listening. Hope you like this video. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Goodbye.